Well, good morning, guys, but actually happy Wednesday to all of your sunshiny faces. It is currently about 5 in the morning. Me and Matthew both ended up staying up really late. And yeah, now it's starting to get sunny outside and I haven't even gone to bed yet. I did take a shower though. I actually took a shower early. Took a shower like 10:30, I think 11 o'clock, and I also woke up early today and went to bed late last night, so I was like, I'm gonna be really tired and end up going to sleep like, you know, early. No, got totally distracted playing stuff, and now it's, like I said, 5 in the morning. And the thing was, we both agreed, we were like at like 1 o'clock, we were like, okay, we're gonna be done, like we're gonna go to bed. I think it was like 1:30, and then we ended up getting lost in nostalgia, and now again it's 5 o'clock in the morning and haven't gone to bed yet. But like I said, I already took a shower. I guess need to brush my teeth and then go to bed this morning. But I ended up actually, because the plumber guy ended up coming today, but after looking at what needed to be fixed, they need it for a 2-person job, and he was the only person that ended up coming out today, so we did it more as like a consultation. And they ended up figuring, you know, like if my parents wanted just the one sort of piece of pipe replaced that is causing the leak, but because I guess it's like worse off probably than what they thought, like to get all of the pipes replaced actually would not be that bad of a price. And so like they were thinking they probably are going to go with that, I think is what is going to happen. So they are, I think, going to go with that. However, the AC guy is coming tomorrow. The air conditioning is being replaced and they're coming and doing that tomorrow. So my mom was like, well, you know, like we're gonna have them here tomorrow, like we can't have you guys here until, again, at least like Friday or Monday or something like that, because again, it is sort of a bigger problem that needs to be fixed. Like we can't be like, oh yeah, that's cool, and just wait like another like couple weeks. It needs to be fixed pretty much within the week or so. So again, it was cool that we got that quote and all that taken care of, but like I said, it's like one thing after another right now. Like we are getting, you know, we planned on getting the AC done, but ended up, again, it switched, had to go with a different company than the first time, and when we got, you know, the furnace replaced and everything like that. And so after a huge, again, sort of like waiting, then getting a couple other estimates and stuff like that, finally going with this, you know, company now, and then having to, you know, find out now that when my dad went in the crawl space to look for some of the stuff, you know, for you know, because he knew that the AC guy was going to come, so he went in crawl space yesterday and saw that we had a leak, and it was a pretty bad leak, and now again had to get a plumber out. And so again, plumber thinks coming tomorrow, and then maybe the AC on Friday again, or on, you know, Monday possibly. So, you know, but the good thing is that it's not leaking, it's the drainage that's leaking. So that is just like, if we're using, it's mainly just from the sink, but I guess too, the reason that the guy suggested we wind up getting it actually all replaced is because I guess, which I've told you guys so far, nothing in this house makes sense at all. That stuff, like as we've been doing more projects and stuff like that, we were like, why is this thing, you know, like my dad will be like, as an electrician, why is this wired up to this thing? Like, why is this, you know, like, you know, we were replacing the hood on the stove and realized that they had started cutting into the, you know, the stud, and then stopped halfway through. And so there's a huge gash in the stud behind there. And so like, I don't know why they didn't just finish it or didn't like frame it out like you would a door frame or window, but no, they just ended up stopping, cut halfway into it, and then didn't finish it. So there's no exterior exhaust for the fan, so we just have like a recirculating fan. But again, like there's none of that. And it's like every time that we've been doing anything or replacing something or whatever, we're just like, why is this like this? So again, the guy came today and was like, well, it's weird because I don't know, one of the like plumbing things, one of the pipes drains and then connects to something else and drains into that drainage that then drains actually out into the main one, whereas like, I don't know, it's all sort of like backed, you know, like not backed up, but like you know, like takes longer and shouldn't be, you know, it should just go like straight out, or like, you know, again, it connects to something else that then connects to something else that connects to something else that actually is the, you know, drainage or whatever. I don't know, it's really weird, but he's like, none of the stuff that's down there is normal or is how it should be and stuff like that. And could be some of the reasons too why, like, every once in a while we will get like a drainage problem, something with the bathtub and like the laundry room, like the washing machine or slop tub or whatever, actually like connected, which are on opposite ends and the furthest from each other as far as our plumbing goes. So I don't know why that's a thing, but you know, again, it's, you know, he was saying like that there's a lot of other like stuff is messed up and not how it's supposed to be, which could be why sometimes too, though, we've had problems with the drainage in our shower sometimes, and then also too our slop tub backs up as well. So it could be a combination of those two things. Like also too, if they're working in tandem at the same time, it could be also why sometimes the drainage is just like slow. It's not that it's clogged, it's just slow. And also the bathroom sink. The kitchen sink, actually, we don't have a problem with, like, it never gets backed up. But that's actually where the leak is happening, so that could possibly maybe be even be why. But again, we've never had a problem with the kitchen sink ever like backing up or draining slow or anything like that. But again, this leak, it couldn't have been, you know, probably any more than like 6 or so months that, again, this leak ended up starting. So and because it's like with the drainage, we didn't realize anything was like weird. It wasn't like we were like, oh, water pressure's weird, like there must be a leak somewhere in the house, or we noticed a leak or whatever. And again, didn't have a reason that we needed to go into the crawl space to, you know, go check on anything. And my dad's like, I should probably be going down there like again once a month and just making sure like everything down there is still, you know, stable, I guess, and, you know, okay, and nothing's leaking and nothing is every once in a while too, our dryer vent for some weird reason will actually come undone. I don't know why, but that runs under the house and then goes to like the exhaust outside, but for some reason sometimes it comes undone. So my dad's like, you know, normally whenever he goes down there he does have to fix it, but yeah, guys. So anyways, like I said, the quote that they quoted us on seemed like pretty good. Like, I think my parents are going to go with that and get all of that replaced, because that would be like, you know, I think it was like a third of what doing the whole thing pretty much would end up costing. It would be almost a third of that would be what, or a fourth or something like that would be what just replacing the one piece is. And because we're just replacing the one piece though, we might actually have problems in other parts when they're actually replacing just the section of it. It might wind up jarring or messing up other pipes along the way that already sort of need to be replaced. So again, I think that's what they're gonna go with, but you know, it's like I was telling you guys, it's like all this kind of stuff. We're like, why is our house like this? Like, you know, on top of that too, guys, I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but we've had a light switch in our laundry room that, again, had since we moved in, and for the longest time we were like, we have no clue what this light switch is for. And then one day he was doing something and was actually telling me, he was like, yeah, and we also have this really weird switch in the laundry room and I have no clue what it does. And then he went out to the garage and was like, who turned the garage lights on? And realized that the switch from the laundry room actually turns the garage lights on, which is kind of a nifty thing because our garage isn't connected. So it's like, you know, if you were like, oh, I'm gonna go outside to the garage, you can turn the lights on from the inside of the house and then go outside. You know, if you're like, I have to go out there to go and get something, or you're putting a car away or whatever, which we don't put our car in the garage. We have too much stuff to store in there to fit a car. But, and also too, the garage door doesn't work, but that's sort of besides the point. The, again, we figured out what that switch was for. And then also the one upstairs, there was a cover plate on a light upstairs, but my parents said when they were first looking at the house, there was actually a different light fixture upstairs, and then there was also track lighting. They took the track lighting out and the owners ended up taking it with them and replaced the other light with a fan, you know, fan and light. up there and never put a second light in where they just covered it over. So again, we had a switch upstairs for the longest time that we were like, what on earth is this switch even for? And my dad thought it was like for the fan in the attic, but no, we figured out that because I was like, you know, my dad was like, oh, they used to have 2 lights upstairs. And so when we were placed in my mom's office, she has a fan light, a mini fan light in her room or her office. So the old light that was in there, which we'd replaced not too long ago, we ended up putting upstairs in that spot, and then realized that that was what the switch was for. So you know, we've lived here again for like 20 years, and this was just last year that we figured out what that upstairs switch was for. But we've lived here again 20 years, and we're still learning things about the house that we didn't even know. Also too, that all the plumbing and the crawl space is actually all screwed up and isn't how it's supposed to be. So anyways, yeah guys, like I said, it's just sort of right now like, okay, well that's one thing. There's another thing that has to be done. Like, we were trying to and hoping to get our driveway redone this year, and that's probably not going to happen because we have a couple of expensive we weren't expecting. And on top of that too, with the air conditioning, like my dad was thinking it was going to be cheaper than what it was, but realized that it actually wasn't. But still, with the company we're going with, it's still drastically cheaper than any of the other 3 places that quoted us. So that's why, again, I don't think that that's actually going to be able to, you know, we're not going to be able to get that done this year. Whereas we wanted to, but that might have to be something that we wait to do until next summer. And on top of that too, though, my dad only got 1 quote for it, and it seemed sort of pricey, and I was like, you might want to like check around a little bit more and see if there's other places that, you know, like you could get a better quote from, because it seemed, again, still a little expensive. But my dad just went with the one and was like, okay, well, we'll go with this then maybe next summer. Where I was like, you should maybe look around and see if there's other ones that you could get, you know, see what sort of a good competitive price is. So yeah guys, I will see you guys all in, I guess what would be actually today's vlog later today. But if you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.